Hello. Today I will be discussing the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals Policy by Lizette Cervantes. Hi there, I'm Lizette Cervantes. A little bit about me is that I am a current second-year social work major with a minor in Chicano Latino Studies. I see myself as an outgoing and charismatic individual, and one of my hobbies is that I like to collect records. The reason I chose this topic was because in my previous CLS classes, I've had the chance to discuss a little bit of DACA, as well as seen points of views of migrants who have experienced different versions of the system, as well as the hope that DACA provides them, as well as the meaning of it leading to inspire others to stand up for their own rights. This topic is of importance to me as I hope to soon work with the Latinx community in the social work field, as I also have an interest in working in forensic social work. The agenda of my presentation, we will go over the background of the problem, some policy descriptions, relevant statistics, some implementations, evaluation of DACA, recommendations, and my references. So to go over background, the establishment of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA, began in June 2012 when President Obama's administration, with the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, announced that they would start to accept applications for DACA. DACA was, during that time, accepting applications and renewals until September 2017, when the recession of DACA occurred, as President Trump announced that his administration would be phasing out of DACA and no longer accepting requests. They were still momentarily accepting renewals until October of that year. Yet, a year later in 2018, federal court judge Aspel ordered that the USCIS resume the DACA policy. Until January 2021, when President Biden instated the most recent update to the DACA program. He issued a memorandum that discusses the appropriate actions to preserve and fortify DACA while making sure that it is consistent with the law. To go over the policy description, I added that the DACA policy allows young unauthorized immigrants with low enforcement priorities to remain in the country with a temporary lawful status. To qualify for the DACA program, a person must have entered the country before the age of 16 and be under the age of 31 as of June 15, 2012. They must have also continuously resided inside the U.S. since June 15, 2007. Lastly, applications must be at least 15 years of age and be in school, graduated from a high school and/or received their GED, or have been honorably discharged from military service to apply. Lastly, to add on to that, to apply, a person should make sure they have no record of a convicted felony offense, nor a significant or multiple misdemeanor offenses, as those would make you ineligible of applying. Some relevant statistics is that currently 16 states, including the District of Columbia, offer in-state tuition for unauthorized immigrant students through their state legislative action, and even 7 states through their state university systems provide unauthorized immigrant students in-state tuition fees. About 7 state university systems have established policies to offer the in-state tuition rates to their unauthorized immigrant students. About 11 states offer state-funded financial aid to their unauthorized immigrant students, yet 2 states continue prohibiting DACA students from enrolling in public higher education institutions. The 2 states are Alabama and South Carolina. However, Alabama does allow DACA recipients to receive in-state tuition from public colleges and universities. The State Board of Regents in Georgia prohibits certain institutions from admitting undocumented students. Currently, only 15 states have enacted a legislation that can improve and provide the opportunity for DACA's recipients to begin receiving their professional licenses. Some statistics that I found were that 25% of DACA recipients are employed and in college simultaneously, as well as 56.7% of undocumented students said that they were highly concerned about how they would finance their college education. This does show that because of these rules and legislations, many of these students are having to deal with stress of school and financial troubles as well. Some implementations that have been done by the California State University systems have been that they have been acknowledging that students are going through a difficult time regarding DACA. So they have been assessing the situation and continuing to provide dedicated staff to assist students with resources, as well as focusing to spread the word about the Basic Needs Initiative and the campus mental health services that are provided at each campus. The CSU system also recommends that students begin participating in the planned webinars to stay on top of any legal updates provided by the CSU system's Immigrant Legal Resource Center. Also, depending on the CSU campus a student attends, there are accesses to free immigration legal services, which focuses its services on providing students support in any legal services that they may need. An example of this is the free service provided by the Central American Resource Center of California, which focuses its services on the Southern California CSU campuses. The CSU system also partners with many other organizations that provide their students with local care and support. Evaluating the DACA policy brought about some information considering if the expected outcomes have been seen or not within DACA. The DACA outcomes have been allowing participants to participate in their communities as partial citizens, as well as pay taxes and contribute to their economy. More than about 1.3 million people are current recipients, and DACA has done an effective job in protecting people from deportation, providing work permits, and providing better health care while allowing students to pursue a higher education. Something that would help is modifying the application fee and documentation, as it could be an essential factor in how many more people could start to apply if there was modifications done, as well as expansions within DACA service centers in schools and communities to make sure that DACA students feel supported and feel like they have a place to go in their community and within their schools. Some recommendations for revisions are to possibly create a cheaper application fee, as stated before, statistics show that many college students already have to deal with working and going to school simultaneously. And on top of that, have to worry about the large application fee that comes with DACA. So having a cheaper application fee may lessen the stress and possibly create even broader opportunities for people to apply and get an education, as well as having simpler language in the application so that recipients are able to understand what they're getting into and what laws they need to follow while underneath the policy. I also thought that providing a teleprompter to help guide eligible participants in the application process would be very helpful for those who are not used to having to fill out online applications or even the paper application, as it can be very difficult and tedious to understand not only the wording, but the proper steps that you need to take to fill out the rest of the application. Another recommendation is to possibly revise the DACA policy to pave a road to citizenships for its participants, as we have not yet had a policy that paves a way for undocumented individuals to get a way to citizenship. And I believe that if having a way to do so with the proper rules and regulations would be very beneficial to our society. These are my references that I got for each of my information. And thank you for your time.